Hello and welcome to another video, and Warfare 1 Field Engineer DLC has just dropped for Space Engineers, so of course we're going to be taking a look at the DLC, all of the different changes, what's free, what's paid, and is there any comments or concerns I have about the pack. So let's lock and load, as there is some pretty cool changes so far. So obviously, the first thing is, new weapons. So let's go take a look at them. We have several new guns, and they're broken off into sort of different applications. We have 3 different pistols, a regular, a fast-firing machine pistol, and a red dot sight accuracy pistol. A regular, just assault rifle. It's now semi-auto. Previously, the regular gun was fully automatic, and all of the guns here took the same ammunition. Now each one has its own separate ammunition type. This is a semi-automatic, just standard rifle. This is a fully automatic fire, like suppressive fire rifle. This is semi-automatic, almost like a sniper rifle. And this is a burst fire tactical rifle. Then we have 2 rocket launchers, one for essentially mid to short range, and one for long range, trying to snipe off a fixed emplacement at maximum range of the weapon. All of these new ammunitions are built in the production in this consumables tab, and you've got all your different ammo. It's all iron, nickel, magnesium, as you would expect. Of course, your missile containers are going to need your silicon, uranium, and platinum as well, but that is as expected. So keep in mind, you can only use the type of ammo for that particular type of gun. So if you have an MR20 basic rifle and you want to move up into a different rifle, you need to more than likely disassemble your old ammo and then reassemble the new ammo, just so you know. So moving on from there, well, if we have all these guns, we want to shoot at something, right? So we've got the target dummy block. Look at this thing. It is beautiful. Now, the greatest thing about this block is it will trigger things when it is damaged and when it is destroyed. So if we look at the block here and we look at its setup actions, the left option here is when it's damaged, when it's hit by a weapon, and the right option here is when it's destroyed. When it takes enough damage, it'll get blown off down to the nub right there, and then a few seconds later, which you can define right here for the regeneration delay, it'll take some steel plate from inventories. As you can see, if I orient that and then bring it in closer, it has a conveyor in the bottom. So if you attach this to your conveyor network, it'll take a little bit of steel plate and automatically repair itself so that you can continue to shoot at it. We'll just grab a regular rifle here to demonstrate. So with our regular rifle, we can shoot this thing. Its current on hit activation is set to change this light to on and off, and its on destruction is to trigger this timer block. So this timer block is opening and closing this door. It's not anything special, it's just the fact that you can trigger something that can then trigger more things, and you could have a single shot in this cascade out into multiple different actions. So as I shoot this, that light turns on and off, and as I shoot it, it breaks off, triggers the timer, closes the door, and then this thing will automatically regenerate as its timer was set to do that. It's regeneration delay. So that's awesome. And so to show off all the different guns, we have a little firing range. And this is like the old-timey arcadey thing where if you hit the target, it'll fall over, and then after a certain amount of time, it gets picked back up again. We have these connected to a hinge that when it's hit, Hinge activates to reverse, and the thing goes down quickly. When it goes down, this sensor picks it up, activates the timer, and the timer waits 3 seconds, and then puts it back up again. So, if I shoot this, bam, goes down, hides, 3 seconds later, pops back up. We have an arcade game that we can build out of this. So totally an arcade game. So I can just pop all these things down, and then they pop back up, ready for the next user. Excellent. So for the different weapons, we have the standard issue firearm, just a quick semi-automatic pistol, real basic. We have the fully automatic pistol, which just spits ammo, but as you may notice, it has massive recoil on it, so you really have to fight that. And then the accurate pistol, perfect for picking off those headshots at medium to long range. Standard battle rifle, semi-automatic, good power, iron sights. The sniper rifle, which you may notice when I'm on the just regular battle rifle here, it's 20 rounds. The sniper rifle only has 8 rounds, so they have different magazine sizes too. And that means that this is more of like the heavy-hitting sniper rifle kind of feel to it. You've got the red dot, you've got a little bit of the zoom in there. You can pick off guys, go for those headshots, get all the damage. We have the machine gun ready for just suppressive fire with a 50-round magazine. And then the tactical rifle with a red dot, single shot, along with a 3-shot burst. You hold down the button. Nice. And we do have some rocket launchers, but this is kind of not the range for that. But we do have... Oh, we have a bison standing by. And we can blow up a bison, how about? But first off, let's take a look at the reticule of this when we aim down sights. We can see that there is that brackets in the middle. Your shot's going to land somewhere in there. So if I fire, and I don't move my mouse at all, and then I bring that back up, you can see, oh, that was pretty centered. That's not bad. If I fire again, oh, wow, that is low and left. So it's a little inaccurate at long ranges. However, I mean, at a short range where that whole thing is over top of an enemy tank or something, it's going to hit. But at long ranges, you want the accurate rocket launcher. And this thing, oh, that thing, ooh, it's straight as an arrow. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's like a laser beam. And it's right where you wanted it. Oh, perfect. And so, what we can do is we can pound this bison. Destroy it! Destroy the bison! With rocket launchers. So this gives you, as a regular foot engineer, the ability to fight back against some enemy tanks and such. If I'm not mistaken, they also did a rebalance of block health, especially in small grid, if I'm not mistaken, so that things will be, you know, your small grid ships won't get instantly vaporized by small arms fire. But moving on from there, and resetting the day here, get back up there, son. We're going to go off to some of the blocks that are in this pack. Now, this is all still the free. This is all free, all these new weapons and such. We have the Passageway blocks. Now, we have the original Passageway. It was just the single passageway. Kind of boring. But this gives it a new model. We still have the original Passageway, of course. They're not getting rid of that. But we can take a look at the differences here from the old Passageway to the new Passageway. And we can see how much more detailed this is. Oh, I love it. You got the little text there, caution moving parts, danger high voltage, all these little, like, there's bits of like some sort of fuse box there with wires coming out of it. Looks like there's some emissives on the ceiling. This is some good stuff. It also comes with a second variant of it called the Passage to Side, which essentially just takes off one of the walls and you can put them side by side to make a 2-wide passageway. Or what I was also thinking, if you wanted to do that, is you could put, flip these upside down so that these are facing into the air, and then put another set on top, so you have this 2x2 area, which maybe is big enough for your fighters, or maybe is big enough for a rover or something to drive through. Maybe you should get yourself a little passageway kind of feel for that. Maybe that'll work. The last thing before we cross this line and head into paid land is there is a new scenario, and it's a multiplayer battle scenario, so in my testing of it, it wouldn't start because I was the only person there, but from my understanding, it's essentially capture the flag, go into the center, grab uranium, slowly walk it back to your captured point, and more uranium you capture, the better. Sounds awesome. You got all the new weapons to use and battle it out in some team tactics there. But that is the end of the free DLC, and now we're on to the paid portion of this update. It is, I believe, $3.99 USD or your regional equivalent. For me, it was like $4 and change Canadian. And let's go take a look at what we have. The first blocks is the fire cover blocks. Just a straight wall and a corner wall. They're just walls. I mean, really not much special about them. We have a bunch of different walls. We can do this with catwalks because catwalks have the walls for them as well. So it's just some more decorative walls to use in your designs. Next up is what are these called? Half window. So they have a little wall on the bottom and then a window on top. We have the normal and inverted, and that's just whichever side you want your tint on. And so they're both occupying this block that I'm standing in. Of course, this one has the tint on this side, this one has the tint on that side. It all depends on what your build requires. They have both straight and corner versions of those. Next up, we have the armory block, which is essentially a locker, but it's covered in guns. Like, it functions exactly the same as a locker. It's just a storage container. However, it looks funky because it's got a bunch of guns on it. Would look good if you're setting up a military base and you wanted to have an actual armory with guns and just like imagine the scene from The Matrix sort of feel. We need more guns. And you can just have them all lined up there. It also, if I grab out the block here, the weapon rack, it has a small block variant, which is different than the rest of the armories and lockers and such. They don't have a small grid variant. This gives you this little 3-gun locker thing that you can, say, stick on the side of a rover or a drop pod as sort of the, hey, you're dropping into battle, grab your rifle and go in. I really like that. Probably stick it on the side of some of my rovers just for looks. Next up here is the Embrasure block. Now, this is the first one that I have some issues with. Not about the block. The block is amazing. It is essentially a slab. It's a half-size block, but it's got this one tiny little gap in it, and you can shoot through the gap. That's amazing. Can you imagine having like a long hallway and one of these at the end, and then a guy just with like a really good assault rifle just holding down the hallway, and all you can do to hit him is have to shoot through this tiny little gap, but all he has to do is just like duck and cut and tuck into the corner, and you can't hit him anymore. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. Plus, it's all one giant block, so you could just have a welder on the side, and you can just repair this thing as it's taking damage. Mwah. Beautiful. Why I have a problem with that is that it's really hard to replicate this functionality in vanilla without having to pay. Where all of these blocks so far, I mean, we have multiple different walls. We have lockers. These are just reskinned lockers with guns on them instead of just locker doors. So this is just cosmetic. This is really functional, especially since rockets can fire through them. So we have a large grid rocket launcher here and an embrasure block pushed up against it. But because there's this tiny little gap, rockets will fire through. So if I turn this on so that the rockets start firing, yeah, they're firing through. So good luck trying to break that rocket launcher. You have to break through the embrasure first. That's just extra defenses unless you hit this tiny little gap right there. So yeah, the embrasure is great. However, it should probably be in free pack instead of the paid DLC because of its functionality. Moving on, we have Passageway 3s. So free version gets Passageway 2s, which is just the regular passageway and the wall version of them. Passageway 3 gets some extra bits. It has the regular passageway and it has the wall version, but it has a lighted version. And this is amazing because normally when you're making like a passageway, it's dark as hell because you have to go, well, I have to stop making passageways because there's no place to put an interior light in here because the passageway takes up the whole block. This is really annoying. But now we can have our light in here and it's a fully functional light. I've got build vision so I can access this right directly, but I can change it. I can drop the blue out of here and make this a yellow light. Like, this is a fully functional interior light. I can turn it on and off. I can make it blink. I can do anything I want with it. Yeah, that's amazing. So, I really wish this was also in the free. Again, this is just real functionality. It's annoying because we can't replicate this in vanilla without having to like essentially make our own hallways in small grid, which is annoying. Or you just have to have a regular boring old like block hallway like this and just the regular boring square hallway with lights every so often. But now you get this beautiful nice thing here. So much nicer. But anyway, along with that, we have the wall version of it, just like Passageway 2s. We also have a 4-way junction and a half. This is called the Passageway frame, and it's essentially just like a slab version of the passageway. So if you have any places where I just need to go half a block more just to be flush with, say, the entrance of a doorway or something like that, there you go. Just a nice little half passageway block. Now, they gave us this 4-way so that you can have a junction. But then how about also, if you're listening, giving us the a T-junction and a 90-degree corner? Because it's kind of annoying when you're working with that passageway. And I'll just grab it out here. And we're going to say Passageway 3, the cross. And we'll have Passageway 3 lights all facing into it. If I just wanted a T-junction here, I've got an open side and I've just got to like put a wall there. And that's ugly. If I had this as a T-junction, I could have this bar going across and it would look great. Or if I had it as a corner, like a 90-degree corner, that would be so great. It's the same thing with conveyors. We have a 90-degree corner there. We have essentially the junction, which is a T-junction. No, not T-junction. A 4-way, or in this case, because it's the cube, it's a 6-way. And just having that, having a T-junction and having a, get rid of that, having a corner would make this so much nicer to build with. because then I wouldn't have to have these blocks here to be the backing for those sections that are missing. But anyway, that's just nitpicking. Still great stuff. You can still make some amazing corridors with this, but that's just nitpicking. Before we walk into this little bunker that I made, just to show off the corridors, we also have the assault skin. You can see the visor there and the rest of the assault boots and all that stuff. Of course, you can color it, you can change it around, mix and match it with the other stuff. But yeah, that's a new skin for the paid version. So let's take a look at this bunker. So we come in here, here's one of the frames, that's the half slab. You've got a lighted, unlighted, lighted corridors. There's the junction here, which allows us to go back into this room, go out to maintain this turret, come back through here. We can make some different shapes with it, depending on how you lay it out. You also get that corner there outside of the bunker. We can come back in, and we've got an embrasure built in here so we can defend the bunker from the inside and be nice and safe. Oh man, I love those corridors, and I can't wait to build them into various bases and larger ships and such that I want to make in the future. The only other things that are in this pack, which I need the spectator camera to show off, is we have some emotes. So I'll face towards the sun there, get some nice, beautiful set. There we go. Perfect. So I want 5 and 6 are my buttons to press. We've got finger guns, where our character goes bam, bam, bam with his fake pistols, blows them off, and then reholsters them. And then we've got, oh my god, I've been hit. Oh no. Tell my mother I love him sort of feeling. Yeah, so those are the 2 different emotes. And that is the end of the paid content and my concerns about that paid, which should be part of the free. So yeah, to sum up, these corridors are really nice, and I'd liked more of them to be in the vanilla for free, but I understand if they're not, whatever. We can still make ugly corridors with just armor, and there's my dog, of course, with just regular armor and interior lights. But this Embrasure is like, this is different. This is powerful, and I feel like this should be put into the free. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and good hunting out there, fellow space engineers.